80s, 90s, and now Flint's Cars 108. Imagine Dragons, that is radioactive. Jeremy Fenech hanging out. Workday 108 in full swing. And longtime friend of Cars 108, Bill Harris, is in the studio. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, longtime friend indeed. I remember when Cars 108, quote, went on the air. So
right.
That's how long.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
So we were just talking about the Flint community, the area, and just this calamity that has been bestowed upon us. Tonight, there's a town hall meeting, and give us a little bit about what's going on tonight.
We're really excited because we're calling it a town hall meeting, Jeremy, because that's what it's going to be.
Right.
There's going to be no opening statements. We're getting right to the issues. And not to be overwhelming, we've got 16 panelists.
Wow.
But as the joke that we've been saying all along, it's not going to be quite like the Republican presidential debate where we're going, oh my gosh, we're dividing the 90 minutes into thirds.
Okay.
So the first half hour has X number of panelists, second half hour, third half hour. We also have in the audience 350 people comprised of anybody who wanted tickets wrote in, and also some we'll call them experts or VIPs in their own right. But basically, it's we're coming out the gate running, and we'll go from there.
Okay, now, over the weekend, and I guess Friday, they released more emails from the Snyder administration, and that's the thing. What sucks about this Flint Water Crisis is it's not just one issue. This is like an onion. There are so many layers to what has been going on here. I mean, so tonight, are you going to be addressing the entire onion or a certain couple of layers?
No, we're going to try and attack the whole onion. The only thing is, as the moderator and the marching orders that we have, we don't want to make it finger-pointing.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's not going to be asking for accountability.
Right.
But we're not going to focus just on the accountability. We'd like to move on. What's being done right now? What can be done? What's it going to take? And the ultimate question, when will it be safe to drink Flint water again?
Right. Now, there have been many, many different plans. I know the mayor's got one plan. The governor's got another plan as far as, where we're going to start moving forward on this. Have they actually come up with a start? A plan? I mean,
I don't think so. I think that's a plan still in the works. I mean, I'm fortunate that I'm going to be the moderator because I can play the role dummy, which I'm going to be.
Absolutely.
Because as you put it, I can't get my arms around this. It is so huge.
There is so much to tackle.
So, this opportunity, we're not going to reinvent the wheel tonight.
Right.
Oh, hopefully we'll get some answers and some insight as to what the process is going and how long it's going to take and what direction we will finally end up going.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little bit more of Bill Harris coming up just before the 80s Request Lunch, and I'm going to get an 80s song out of Bill, too. Coming up on Cars.
The 80s Request Lunch on Cars 108. Call in your request now at 810-239-1079 or pound 108.
My name is Linda.
80s, 90s, and now Flint's Cars 108. There you go, the weekend, and Can't Feel My Face. Jeremy Fenech hanging out. Bill Harris still here.
I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here.
I can't believe it. You are a very patient man to put up with me, nonetheless.
It's been a great conversation so far, even off mic.
I know. So the town hall meeting tonight, and for people that can't see it, get to it. It'll be online, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're streaming it live.
Okay, wonderful.
NBC25.news.com. But the live broadcast 7 to 8 on NBC 25.
Wonderful. And if people can't watch it, though, I'm sure you're going to have an archive of it on the website.
I believe they're archiving, but it's also going to be rebroadcast on our sister Fox 66.
Wonderful. So,
Or you can drive to Traverse City or Grand Rapids and catch it on the replay in one of those two cities.
That's awesome. They're going to run this everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Or you can drive to D.C. and watch it. The 135 stations for the Sinclair Group are all across the country.
That is great.
So
it's a team
bringing,
effort.
as we joke about that, but it's also, continuing that, spreading the word from the national audience.
Right.
To bring them up to speed as to what's happening.
Exactly. And the thing that still boggles my mind is that, before they made the switch to the Flint River, everyone's like, this is not a good idea. This is just not a good idea. And the switch was made, and people, Dane Walling, was involved with this. Regardless of who voted on anything like that, one of the big things that people don't realize is that no matter who voted on what, we were under emergency manager control. This was a state decision.
Yeah, you talked about the onion. That's part of the onion.
There you go.
Many pieces to this onion.
Absolutely.
The national disaster, one of the emails that you referred to previously in the last interview here, one of the many is from someone very close to Governor Snyder, who a year ago emailed saying, got this big, huge problem in Flint, and once it goes nationally, it's going to explode. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
And he was obviously right.
Yep. So why wait if it's going to explode anyway?
The health benefits, the economic impact, the small businesses in downtown Flint. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But of course, just what it's doing to the health of the community, I guess, if we had to prioritize, that's got to be one of the big ones,
number
if
one.
not the number one.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are many steps that are going to be involved. Obviously, the water that's being donated nationwide, that's what a blessing. I mean,
it's beautiful.
You know, it's a Band-Aid.
But exactly. I mean, it's got to stop sometime soon. I mean, we as a community are so thankful that people are coming to our aid. But that's not going to solve the problem.
No, not even a little bit.
Oh, and again, one of the byproducts. What are we doing with all those empty bottles?
Right.
It's an environmental issue.
See, I mentioned this. I was just joking around on Facebook, but I mentioned, with all these empty bottles, why don't we melt these down and make some pipes and something? But that's the thing. And I think the most frustrating part of it for everybody in Flint is that question, when are they going to start getting these lines taken care of? And there's still no definitive answer on that. I know they keep saying the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So the nice thing about this is, despite the fact that we've all gone through Flint water fatigue, as we've talked about, because you're hearing one thing here, one thing there, you're going to have it all right there in one town hall.
Yeah, all together under one roof. And it's a beautiful venue, too. If you haven't been inside the North Bank Center, it's an historic building in downtown Flint. If I believe correctly, I love history. I watch the History Channel all the time. The North Bank was one of the first banks to fail in the country back, I believe, in the 30s or 40s.
Really?
And the auditorium, the ballroom, which is now the University of Michigan Flint, that is the original bank with the high vaulted ceilings.
You're kidding.
And they did a beautiful restoration job. It's gorgeous. So when if you tune in tonight, I mean, just go, wow, that's a nice venue.
That's
a nice
amazing.
place.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Flint there are so many neat things around this town, and that's one thing that keeps getting brushed aside in this whole thing.
Well, that's why I've been here all these years.
Right.
And, you've had opportunities to leave the market.
Yeah.
I have, but it's home. I love this place.
That's what I said. I mean, I moved back here because of my family, and I was just telling Bill, my family moved away. I'm still here, hey. We love it here in Flint. So, Bill, always a pleasure to chat with you, and we'll be tuning in tonight. Give them all the details.
7 o'clock tonight, 7 to 8, NBC 25, in conjunction with the University of Michigan Flint, a town hall meeting, the water crisis, streamed live from 7 to 8:30 on NBC25News.com. Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams.
That's what you want?
It's 1980s?
It sure is.
I'll take it.
Let's kick off the 80s Request Lunch with Bill Harris's pick next, and thanks again for popping in today.
Thank you.